Ready, scientists? Today, we're going to make snow. You can't really make real snow, but this is kind of neat. It's called, and I forgot the name of the experiment, Magic Snow. Magic Snow. So what you need is you need a container. Now, parents, I haven't tried this before, to be honest. I've read it, I've looked at it. I did see a picture when I was looking at it of a child actually having having a tub similar to this, but being in the bathtub. I'm not sure how much trouble this will cause, but I would watch me before you actually do it along with your children. And there's some parts that are experimental, so you can do it or not do it. Now, the first thing before we get started, scientists get their notebooks ready. So, here's our notebook. One of my leaves fell out. That is not staying glued in very well. I went to my last page, remember, where we did our hibernation unit, and I turned to the next page. And at the top, I wrote the word snow, and I wrote the word snow again. But in front, that's kind of a symbol meaning not snow. So, the next thing I did, it's hard to see, is I put a line right down the middle of the page. If that's hard for you, that's okay to have an adult do. So on one side, we're going to talk about things that we know about snow, and on this side, we'll put things that we find out about this mystery snow, okay? So what's one thing we know about snow? Yes. We're going to talk about how it feels, how it looks, how it sounds, how it tastes, and I'm missing one, the five senses. Smells. So let's start with our eyes. What does snow look like? Snow, well, we talked about how snowflakes are all different shapes, and you can see that they're flakes. And I'll just make a few of them. They're hard to see, obviously, because they're so little. The other thing I'm going to write is this word. It's a color word. What color is snow? White. It's okay to freeze the screen if you want to copy this. So when we're thinking about our eyes and what we can see, snow is white. When we're thinking about our ears, and I'll just make a little ear symbol. What does snow sound like? I'm just going to make a line because snow does not sound like anything. What does snow, I'm going to draw my tongue. What does snow taste like? It tastes cold, I guess, if cold is a taste. I'll write cold. It's cold because you can feel that on your mouth. It's wet. Those are how it feels. Doesn't really taste like anything, does it? Maybe it tastes like water. You don't have to write all of this, but I'm putting it up close, so if you want to copy, you can. It looks white. It doesn't, you can't hear it. Tastes like water, maybe. What about your nose? What does it smell like? No, it doesn't smell like anything. And I'll draw my hand. If your skin touches it, how does it feel? It feels cold. Very good. It does feel cold. And if as it starts to warm up, it might also feel wet. Wet. Do you hear those sounds? I bet you could write them. Wet. Wet. Okay, so now we're ready to do the next thing. I'm going to put down my notebook. I don't need it anymore. The recipe calls for 4 cups of baking soda. Moms and dads, if you want to cut it in half, go right ahead. Now, last night I took this huge box of baking soda that I have just for our experiments and I put it in my freezer. So when I got it out today, I was a little worried that I wouldn't be able to pour it into my measuring cup. But I did. And it feels cold. So this measuring cup has enough for 2 cups. So I'm going to, I forgot. I got this bin. I'm going to dump it in my bin. Ooh, it's getting heavy. That's only 2 cups. So I need to fill this again because 2 plus 2 equals 4. So I learned something about baking soda. I wondered if I put it in the freezer, if it would be all hard. You know, like if you put water in the freezer, it ends up hard, doesn't it? It does. It turns to ice. Baking soda gets cold, but it does not turn into anything different. It's just very cold. So I'm going to tip this. I want you to be able to see, and I don't want to dump it. So I'm going to pour this in as well, carefully. And then it said the only other thing I need is 1 or 2 cups of water. So I'm going to fill this up to 2 cups. And it said cold water, so I got to make sure. Yep, this is cold. Can you hear the faucet running? All right. Now, the other thing it said was not to pour it in all at once. So, I'm going to get a spoon out, but I think eventually I'll use my hands. I'm going to pour just a little. And I'm starting to mix it up. It's looking a little clumpy, but if it doesn't look quite like snow to you, and you mixed it for a bit, and it does not to me, I'm going to add some more water. So, now I've added almost a cup of water. That might be enough. They said 1 to 2 cups. I'm going to start with 1 and get it good and mixed up. Well, it's starting to get all bunched up. Let's see. Ooh, my goodness, my spoon is so cold. Let's see, I'm going to put a little tiny more over here, and then I'm going to be brave. And I'm going to put oh my goodness! When I write in my notebook, I am going to write that this snow feels cold. It absolutely does. Now, oh wow, it does kind of feel like snow. I could pack it like a snowball. Wow. So let's think about it. How does it look? Because we wrote look in our notebooks. I want to tip you up so I can see. Well, not too much. How does it look? Well, it looks white. And you know what else I think it looks like? It looks very fluffy. Snow is like that when it falls. But then this nice fluffy snow, if I compact it together, it really does feel like a snowball. Some of it worked better than others. So I would write that it looks white. I'm going to add a little more water just to see what happens. It looks white. How does it feel, do you think? You're going to write that down too when you find out. Now, if you didn't freeze your baking soda, it will feel different, and that's okay because you can write that in your notes. All right, I think this is going to be it. The more water I add, the stickier the snow is. And you know what? When the snow outside is wet and full of water, that is when you can make snowballs. If it doesn't have much water in it, then it's just fluffy. Now, this is where you can make some choices. First of all, you are going to go to your notebook and you're going to write what it looks like, what it feels like, what it smells like. Yeah, mine smells like snow too. It doesn't smell like anything, but some children have put in like peppermint extract or something to make it smell better. You can do that if you want to, but I would put that it doesn't smell like anything. It feels very cold. I would not taste it. If you want to taste it, it won't hurt you. Maybe I will taste it. An experiment. Oh my. It does not taste like real snow. Blech. I want a glass of water. It won't hurt you to taste it. That's why I wanted to do it. It's all very natural, but look at my cool snow. So, if you had some buttons and you wanted to make a snowman, you could. If you want to flatten it out and maybe have your fingers kind of go in it and make snow angels like you do outside, or if you want to make a fist print in it, it's kind of cool because it does hold its shape. I really like it. There is also a bottle of vinegar out here. Now, parents, I have chosen not to do this because you can add vinegar to see what the next experiment would be, what the next reaction would be. We now know what happens if you take baking soda and add water. If you add vinegar, you will not be able to play with it anymore, boys and girls. If you add vinegar, something will happen, and that's up to you if your moms and dads want to let you check it out. But after you do that, it will pretty much be time to put it away. I mean, you know what we could do? Well, I'm out of time, I'm sorry. But write in your science notebook. Let me know what you find out. I hope you have fun. I think this is cool. I'm going to play with it for a while. Happy science.